So coming from Armenia, I'm a immigrant from Armenia, so I'm not first generation here. My kids are. We came from a communist country because we were part of the Soviet Union as well before I came, before the fall. And of course, we were doing things more traditionally. Females had a different role over there. They weren't set to go work, even though women worked over there. It was just like set positions, like nurses and seamstresses, and you're not really going to the office and being a CEO of a company there. So I'm not saying that didn't exist. I'm just saying it was not common. So when you come here and then you see your mom now striving, of course I'm 6 years old in Armenia. I don't understand these concepts of what women's and men's roles are. It's just what we saw. And when we come to America and I see my mom striving even more, she's going to college, she's getting licenses, she's like doing paperwork now for immigration asylum. She's brought so many people and helped them here in America to achieve asylum legally. So this is another topic that, about illegal immigration, whatever. We came here legally. My mom did everything legally to help people file for asylum. And I see her making lots of money. And so she starts then implementing into my mind, like, hey, you got to earn money. You got to be able to stand up and take care of yourself. You got to focus on becoming a lawyer. So now I'm being indoctrinated by my mom, who is feeding me more so that life, that feminism, like, hey, go out and get your own.
Was that present?
Of course, all the time. He's still alive.
Any other sisters and brothers?
I have a brother. I say he's still alive because my mom's passed away, but my dad's still present. Yeah, I have a brother. And it's just my mom's trauma is what I'm trying to say. Is my mom's trauma was that I needed to be able to take care of myself because she didn't trust men to take care of women. And so realistically, I was like playing with dolls. I just wanted to or playing outside with boys and hanging out and like sports. And realistically, I loved being a mom. Internally, I just loved that feeling of being a mom, a teacher. I was always guiding and teaching the kids of the neighborhood, doing like extracurricular activities with them, going to convalescent homes and singing Christmas carols for them. We were just fun kids. And I never even thought about like being a powerhouse attorney woman, like doing my thing. And so you get fed this. And then you go to high school, then you go to college, and then like more, like be your own boss, be your own babe, go get your own career, get your own degree. Family can wait, blah, blah, blah. And so I feel like the curse of feminism isn't so much that they empower women, is that they take away their power to turn them into robots instead.
What did your dad say at the moment when your mom was feeding you with all that?
It wasn't necessarily like, family conversations we were having. It was just like after an argument with my dad, maybe she would say things like this to implement, like, oh, you got to get your shit together. I'm sorry for my language, but you got to get your stuff together. So that way nobody can have a say over you. But what was the disaster there is that I was 1 foot in and 1 foot out because I wanted to have a family. I wanted to be, a wife, a mother. I wanted to be a caregiver, a homemaker. And yeah, I wanted to be extra too. I wanted to create because that's what we are. We're made in his image. We're creators. And so that urge to create is not going to go away just because I'm a mother and a housewife and whatnot. I wrote this book in 2 months at home while taking care of my now 1-year-old daughter. So yeah, all I'm trying to say is that it was taken away. The idea of motherhood and being a woman at home was like tainted with the traumas of our mothers, maybe. And maybe the traumas of other women that we would see in our environment, and seeing how money maybe helped them escape from it. And so feminism isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just the people who it is a bad thing. It's a bad thing in the sense that it takes away from the woman's actual role in life. The first role she's given is to be a mother and a wife, a partner. Actually, the first role she's given is to be a partner. Adam got Eve as his partner too, so she can help him do the things, take care of the earth, name the animals.
You know what's interesting? So yesterday we were watching this video on YouTube with my wife, and that was a video with a historian. He was telling those stories about what kind of Russia was prior to the 1917 revolution and prior the last Tsar was killed. And then the historian was telling the stories that across the whole Russian Empire, except for the big cities like St. Petersburg and Russia, in Moscow, in those villages, like let's say 80% of the population, in those villages there was so men harassed their women big time. So there was violence, etc. So if you look into the world from this perspective, like for hundreds of years, maybe if husbands were hating their women, etc., maybe feminism was needed. But I believe like it was just pushed too much and too far. It's like it became like feminazis, right?
Right.
It's almost like, I want to say in 2025, feminists, they don't fight for the rights of women. They're saying that men are not necessary at all. It doesn't matter what kind of man, you're just not necessary, right? Especially if you're a white guy and you're a heterosexual, you're like the most
violent.
evil. Yes.
It's violent.
Feminism is violent right now.
Very.
They push too far.
It's violent right now because the women are waking up. Before it wasn't violent because women were complacent and compliant to the ideas that we were being fed about what women should be like, what their roles in society should be like. And to be honest with you, it was just we got bamboozled, really. They took us out of the home, they took our children and put them into indoctrination camps, and then they started feeding them whatever they wanted for the 8 hours out of the day. Then we come home tired, and now we can't serve our children and our families, and so we give them slop from the freezer. And then so that slop is eaten, our kids get sick, our families start deteriorating, we start hating our husbands, then we get into fights, and then we start divorcing each other, and then now we have broken families. And do you see how like it's nonstop? And now there's a two-family household. Maybe one of the members of the family is on government assistance now because she can't take care of herself, or maybe she's expecting too much from the ex-husband, and now he's bankrupt. And so like it's so toxic. And now who gets all the dough? The system.